Good evening, Heidi. May I just express my condolences for the family of General Ndlovu. And having said that, Heidi, I agree 100% with the National Prosecuting Authority and the prosecution team that the death of General Ndlovu will not have any effect or any bearing on the prosecution. His name is not on the witness list. He was never intended to be a witness. They didn't even get a statement from him. We have to put all these accusations and discussions about Brigadier, this now General Ndlovu into context, Heidi. His name was mentioned by the advocate on behalf of accused number 1 and 4. Accused number 1 and 4, part of their defense is that there wasn't mistakes made on the scene, that there was a deliberate staging of the scene and the deliberate manipulation by the police. Also, we know, Heidi, that there are many more policemen. There were policemen from station level and others there. And it's early days. It's very early days in the trial. There are lots of other witnesses that will give evidence. Although the scene is important, I think what's more important, Heidi, is the evidence that linked the accused to the commission of the offence. That will come later. So the state, Heidi may just say something more. The state will decide to prosecute based on the evidence contained in the case docket. So there was no statement by General Ndlovu in the case docket. They'll decide how they want to present their case. Advocate Ndlovu made it clear. He set out his strategy, what he will do, and any proper prosecutor will just continue proving his case. If there's any reason to rebut any allegations by the defense, they'll decide to do that, but later. Because they have a case, they've decided how to present the case, and they should just continue presenting their case. And I don't think there'll be any delay, firstly, because this is not a witness. It's not a witness on the witness list. And secondly, Heidi, I don't think that it will have any bearing on the matter going forward.
It's an interesting perspective, Advocate, that you have there, and perhaps speak to the facts of the matter, because we've all been trying to confirm and understand the role that General Ndlovu was going to play in this particular case. The statement released by the National Prosecuting Authority indicates that he wasn't regarded as a crucial witness, and you are now indicating that he wasn't even going to be on the witness list for the state. And I'm wondering, because he has been referred to as the first person on the scene, he might have been able to assess it from a different perspective, being able to have certain information and details around those that were still at the home when the shooting took place. Would a statement from General Ndlovu bear any weight in this, even though you're saying he wasn't on the witness list? Is this something that the court should or would consider?
There were lots of discussions today. I don't think it's really proper to discuss the evidence, but there are lots of discussions and news articles. We don't even know if General Ndlovu was the first person on the scene. There might have been other policemen on the scene. He was on the scene, that we know. But if he was crucial, Heidi, certainly the investigating team would have included his statement. He was the head of the detectives at the time of the commission of the offence. Certainly he would have ensured that his statement, if it was crucial, would have been in the case docket. It's not. The state decided to prosecute on the charges based on the case docket, and he did not play a role in their decision to prosecute or not. We have to put it into context, Heidi, and that is that his name came to the fore based on an allegation by the accused in the matter. And certainly, although I think there was nothing surprising to the state about the way the police acted on the scene, that they did not think that it was necessary to have General Ndlovu testify in the matter. Heidi, the delay in the matter, to bring the matter to court, created fertile ground for conspiracies to grow. And because of all these conspiracies and people discussing these conspiracies, society thinks that these conspiracies may be true. And if anything happens that would support some kind of conspiracy, people think that that's it, that the conspiracy is true. But it's early days, Heidi. We've led one witness, and he hasn't even finalized his evidence. A forensic field worker that collected evidence and took photographs on the scene. There will be lots of other evidence. Advocate Beloy set out this case. I really do think it's early days, but I'm not concerned whatsoever. For once, I agree 100% with the National Prosecuting Authority.
Advocate Nel, I don't want to move into conspiracies and into any kind of assumptions, but I think it's an important question to ask, because we had an exclusive with Advocate Tefo, and he said that he doesn't believe that General Ndlovu's death was a natural cause. And I'm wondering if you are at all concerned or have thoughts about any other witnesses at risk or at danger here?
Heidi, I saw the clips. I think, let me rather say, it would be highly irresponsible for me to even comment on what I've seen. I don't think I should comment on what I've seen, Heidi. But I agree with the state. The state has taken steps to protect certain of their witnesses that they thought were at risk. And I haven't heard of any other witnesses that may be at risk. I do think, however, that this trial started very slowly. And I think it's important that all parties involved in this matter get this matter up, and that we just go through the evidence to get to the crucial evidence so that people can make up their own minds about the guilt or not of the accused before court, and if there were other people involved, like, for instance, a mastermind, and what the reason for the and motive for the killing was.
Without putting you into a difficult position and discussing the merits of this particular matter and the evidence, rather, there's a lot going around on social media, and with all this news coming out of General Ndlovu passing on, many are questioning the validity of whether or not the 5 currently accused and arrested are actually truly behind the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. And with all the news coming out and all these conspiracies and assumptions, it does put a lot of pressure and question this case, especially because it's taken so long to eventually kick off.
It is so. There was a delay, an unfortunate delay. Heidi, I'm a prosecutor. Whatever people discuss in social media and conspiracies people may follow or not, if I made a decision based on a case docket and I'm happy that there's a case against the accused, I will not let anything stop me. I will not deviate from my strategy to prosecute, and I will just continue. I don't think, and that's speaking for myself, and if I was perhaps in the same position, I don't think there's more pressure on the state because of all the allegations in social media. I think the state has decided on a strategy. I understand their strategy. I might have perhaps done it differently, but I understand their strategy. I support their strategy, and I don't think there's any pressure. And I don't think that the untimely passing of General Ndlovu is significant as far as the trial is concerned.
Just lastly, Advocate Nel, perhaps you could just tell us how the Meyiwa family is doing. It must be extremely difficult for them to see all this news and hear different parts and aspects of what South Africans feel and think, especially because they probably just want the truth and want to know what happened to Senzo Meyiwa.
Yeah, well, I haven't had an opportunity to discuss this with them, but when they were last here, when the trial was last running, they just want the matter to proceed. They just want the matter to run. They want closure. I think we owe them closure. They're certainly relieved that we've started, and they're following the matter. Heidi, I'm impressed. They understand what's going on. They understand the status of the case. They understand where we're at. They understand the importance of the witnesses that were on the scene. So I really do think that they're relieved that we're carrying on with this matter.
Certainly. I think everyone just wants to know what truly happened on that night. Thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate it. That is Advocate Gerrie Nel, who is representing the Meyiwa family.